The auction of shadows. The cage swung gently as the girl inside looked around with wide, fearful eyes. The air smelled of smoke and metal, and the voices of the crowd echoed like thunder in the dark hall. Her small hands clutched the cold bars, knuckles white, heart racing with every step the auctioneer took. He was tall, his face hidden under a hood, and his voice cut through the noise. Next for sale, one female, young, strong enough for work, priced by kilo. The crowd let out murmurs, some curious, some cruel, all eyes fixed on her. She had never seen so many faces before. The lights were harsh, reflecting off metal cages, showing her fear, showing her weakness. Her mind screamed for a way out, but there was none. The weight of her life pressed down like a mountain as. The auctioneer lifted a metal scale. The girl saw it. Her body weighed, measured, discussed, like a piece of meat. Her stomach turned, her chest tight. She felt invisible, a number in a ledger. She wanted to scream, to run, but the bars were thick, the floor high, her hope sinking like a stone in dark water. Then she noticed him, standing at the edge of the crowd, a human, different from the others, calm, watching quietly. He did not laugh, did not cheer. His eyes held something she had not seen in a long time. Something like kindness, maybe even hope. She could not look away. His gaze pierced through the fear around her, and for a moment she felt seen, felt real. The auctioneer raised his voice. "Who will bid for this one? Strong, healthy, ready for work. Price starts high, highest kilo wins." The crowd shouted numbers, some aliens counting credits, some humans whispering among themselves. She flinched at every sound, every shout, every movement. The room felt like a trap, a cage within a cage. The human stepped forward slowly, and the crowd parted slightly, curious, murmuring, "Who is this?" He lifted his hand, his voice calm but firm. "I will take her. Bring her to me." Silence fell, broken. By the auctioneer, "What? You cannot just buy her. She is measured by kilo. The price is high. The rules are the rules." The human smiled faintly. "I pay the price, whatever it takes. She comes with me." The crowd gasped. Some laughed. Some shouted insults. But he did not move, did not hesitate. He reached for a bag of strange glowing credits, counting them slowly, deliberately. The girl watched, her heart pounding, unsure if she could believe it, unsure if hope was a trap. The auctioneer frowned. The guards shifted uneasily, one hand resting on a stun baton, another checking the locks on her cage. "This is illegal! You cannot do this!" he barked. But the human's calm confidence made the hall quiet, the tension thick, like the air before a storm. Every eye on them, waiting, expecting chaos. The girl's mind raced. Images of her past life flashed before her, the crowded streets, the dark alleys, the fear, the hunger, the cold nights, all leading to this moment. Now she had a chance, a small, fragile chance, and she clung to it, whispering a silent prayer for the first time in years, feeling a spark of hope. The human placed the credits on the scale. The auctioneer hesitated, his eyes narrowing. Then slowly, reluctantly, he nodded. "Fine, she is yours. But guard her well. She is special. She attracts attention." The words sounded like a warning, but the girl did not care. She barely breathed, barely moved, watching the human reach for the cage, his hands steady, gentle, as if he could feel, her fear as if he could hold it without crushing it. He unlocked the cage slowly, each click of the lock echoing like a heartbeat. The girl stepped forward, her legs trembling, but she did not run. She walked, guided by the stranger, guided by the promise of freedom. The crowd murmured behind them, some angry, some amazed, some curious. She did not look back. She could not. The hall with its harsh lights, its cruel eyes faded behind her, replaced by the warmth of someone who saw her, who believed in her. As they reached the exit, guards tried to block their path, shouting, raising weapons, But the human did not falter. He moved with purpose, his eyes calm, calculating, ready. And the girl followed, her fear still there, but mingled with something new, something fragile but powerful, hope, trust, the beginning of a bond that would change both their lives forever. And outside the hall, under the dim light of the alien city, she took her first breath of freedom, the streets unfamiliar, the sounds strange. But she was alive. She was no longer just a number, no longer just weight on a scale. She had been seen, and that was everything. The human beside her whispered softly, "You are safe now." And for the first time, she believed it. Escape against all odds. The streets outside the auction hall were narrow and dark. The neon lights flickered, casting long shadows on the walls. The girl clutched the human's hand tightly, her heart pounding, every sound made. Her jump, every footstep behind them, felt like the end. The hum of alien engines echoed in the distance, searching, hunting. They were not safe yet. The human moved quickly but silently, guiding her through alleys filled with crates and broken machines. His eyes scanned constantly, calculating, ready for anything. "Stay close. Do not make a sound," he whispered, and she nodded. Fear mixed with a strange excitement. The first spark of adventure in her dull life, behind them. The auction house erupted in chaos. The guards had discovered her absence. Alarms blared, metal shutters slammed down, and alien voices screamed commands, "Find her! Do not let them escape!" The human heard the shouts, but he did not panic. He led the girl through a hidden passage, a narrow tunnel behind a stack of crates. The walls damp and cold, the smell of rust filling the air. Suddenly, a shadow moved ahead. A guard rounding the corner. Flashlight sweeping the dark. The girl froze, her stomach twisting, but the human acted fast, throwing a small metal object. It clanged against the wall. The guard turned, investigating the noise, and they slipped past. Hearts pounding, every step a risk, every breath a gamble. As they ran, the girl began to notice the city for the first time. High towers of glass and steel, floating vehicles passing above, neon signs in alien languages flickering like stars. Yet danger lurked in every corner. The city was alive, watching, waiting, and they were prey in its gaze. They reached an abandoned transport hub. The human pushed open a rusted door, revealing an old hovercraft, its engines silent but intact. "We can hide here for a moment," he said, scanning the area. "They will not expect this." The girl climbed in, her hands trembling, eyes wide. Feeling both fear and awe, the machine smelled of oil and metal. Yet it was hope, their chance, but hope was fragile. As a loud alarm sounded nearby, the girl's chest tightened, the sound of alien patrols echoing through the streets. "They are close," the human said. "We must move now." He activated the hovercraft, sparks flying, engines humming to life. And they lifted off just as a patrol rounded the corner, eyes wide in surprise, weapons raised but too late. The craft sped into the night. The city passed beneath them, a blur of neon and shadows. But danger followed. A fleet of alien drones appeared in the sky, scanning, searching, their red lights cutting through the darkness. Missiles locked. Ready to fire, the girl gripped the human's arm, panic rising. "We cannot outrun them forever," he said, his mind racing, calculating, plotting. "But we can outsmart them." He dived the hovercraft into a narrow canyon between two skyscrapers. Twisting, turning, almost scraping the sides, the drones followed, but their size made them slow. The human's skill was incredible, maneuvering with precision, sweat on his brow, the girl's fear turning into awe. She had never seen courage like this, never felt safety like this. Yet danger was all around. Suddenly, a drone fired. A beam of energy striking the building beside them, sending debris flying. The craft shook, alarms blaring inside. The girl screamed, but the human's hand was firm on hers, steady, calm. "Hold on," he said, and she did. feeling the strength and determination radiating from him, realizing that her life had changed forever. Finally, they reached the edge of the city, the sky opening to a desert of glowing crystals and strange alien formations. The drones hesitated at the city limits, unable to follow, and the human landed the craft in a hidden cave, engines quiet, darkness surrounding them, yet for the first time. The girl felt relief, yet not safety. Danger still lingered outside, always waiting, always hunting. As she looked at him, eyes wide, voice trembling, she whispered, "Why are you helping me?" The human looked at her, his expression softening. "Because no one deserves to be treated like property. Because I saw you, not a number, not a kilo, but a person." The words sank deep, touching something in her she had thought was dead long. Ego? Hope. The cave was silent, except for their breathing. The girl slowly sank to the ground, trembling, but feeling alive. The human began checking the hovercraft, making plans. "We cannot stay here long. They will track us," he said, determination burning in his eyes. "Tomorrow, we go further, to a place they cannot find us, to freedom." She nodded, finally understanding, finally believing. The world was dangerous, cruel, and unforgiving, yet in this human she saw courage, compassion, and strength, and a bond was forming, fragile but unbreakable, born in fear, forged in escape, and she knew, deep inside, that nothing would ever be the same again. And as the alien city glowed in the distance, red lights flickering like warning stars, she whispered to herself, a spark of defiance forming, "I will survive, and I will fight." And the human beside her smiled faintly. "That is why I brought you here," knowing their journey had only just begun. The shadows within the cave was silent except for the hum of the hovercraft and their breathing. The girl sat against the cold stone, still trembling from the chase, but something had changed in her, a fire, a spark of courage that she had never felt before. Her eyes darted to the human, watching him carefully, the weight of his calm strength grounding her. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled slightly, a vibration that grew, echoing off the walls, dust falling from the ceiling. The girl's heart leapt, fear returned like a shadow. "What is it?" she whispered, voice shaking. The human's eyes narrowed, scanning the cave. "Something is coming. Not from the city," he said, voice low, tense, every instinct alert outside the cave. The alien drones had not given up, but this vibration was different, deeper, heavier, a presence that pulsed like a heartbeat, something alive, ancient, watching, hunting, unseen but terrifying. The human moved to the entrance, peering into the darkness, calculating, "They are faster than we expected, and not alone." The girl followed, curiosity battling fear, and then she saw it, shadows moving, larger than any drone, shapes twisting, shifting, impossible forms gliding over the jagged terrain, eyes glowing faint red in the darkness, scanning, searching. Intelligence behind the movement, and she realized they were not machines, they were predators, hunting like the humans had never seen. Her stomach turned. Fear clawed at her throat, but the human stepped forward, voice calm. "We have no choice, we move now." He lifted a small device, glowing softly, projecting a holographic map of the alien landscape, plotting a route through the crystal desert. "If we follow this, we can reach the safe zone before they catch us," he explained, urgency in every word. The girl nodded, trembling, but rising, gripping his hand, trusting, the bond between them growing stronger as they stepped into the night. The shadows moved closer, and the wind carried strange, whispering sounds, voices not human, thoughts crawling into their minds, testing fear, doubt, confusion. She shivered, feeling the power of something beyond her understanding. They ran across the crystal plains, the ground glowing faintly beneath their feet, alien formations rising, like towers, hiding them, revealing them. A landscape alive with danger, every step a risk, every shadow a possible enemy. Behind them, the low growl of the hunters, not mechanical but organic, powerful, echoing through the canyon. Then the girl stumbled, nearly falling, her hand brushing against a strange crystal. And suddenly she felt something surge inside her, a strength, a pulse, a connection with the strange world around her. She lifted her hand, and the crystal's light responded, brightening, shifting, as if it recognized her, energy flowing from her to the stone, then back, warmth and power mixing, fear replaced by awe. The human noticed, eyes wide. You can feel it," he whispered, disbelief and hope in his voice. "You are not ordinary. They underestimated you." She did not understand fully, but instinct told her it was true, that the strange power inside her could turn the tide, that she was more than prey, more than a girl weighed by the kilo. She was becoming a force behind them. A shadow lunged, massive, teeth glinting under the moonlight, its roar deafening. The girl froze, but the surge of energy inside her flared, a pulse of light shooting from her hands, striking the creature, throwing it back, stunned, confused, and the human's jaw dropped, awe and relief crossing his face. "Incredible! You saved us!" They ran again, faster. Now a rhythm between them, her power, his skill. A team forged in desperation, danger always close, the alien predators adjusting, learning, hunting smarter, faster, yet the girl's abilities kept them, one step ahead, hope flickering brighter with every pulse of her energy. Finally, they reached a ridge overlooking a hidden valley, glowing softly under twin moons. The air calm here, strange flora glowing like fireflies, alien but safe. The human lowered himself beside her, catching his breath. "This is it, for now," he said, eyes scanning for threats. "We can rest, but not for long. They will not give up. They will hunt us again." The girl looked around. Fear still there, but tempered by strength. She felt the power inside her, the bond with the human, the thrill of survival, and something else, a quiet determination, a promise to herself. "I will not be their prey. I will fight. I will survive, and I will never be weighed by the kilo again." And as the alien predators disappeared in the distance, voices echoing faintly through the crystal winds, she realized her destiny had shifted. Danger would follow. The galaxy was bigger, crueler, and more beautiful than she had ever imagined, and her story had only just begun. The hidden sanctuary, the valley glowed softly under twin moons, the strange flora humming with energy, yet danger lingered in the air. The human and the girl moved cautiously, their steps light on the glowing ground. Every rustle of leaves or shift of light making their hearts pound. The alien predators could strike at any moment. The girl felt the pulse inside her, stronger now, connected to the valley, the crystals responding to her thoughts, guiding her, warming her hands with faint light. And the human noticed, awe in his eyes. "You are learning. Faster than I imagined," he said, scanning the valley. "We might just have a chance here." But the valley was not empty. Shadows moved among the glowing flora, watching, calculating, intelligent shapes blending with the light. And suddenly, a figure emerged, tall, armored, alien, its eyes glowing red, scanning, calculating, every movement precise. It spoke in a strange language, a command that shook the air, a warning. They had been found. The girl's heart raced. Fear clawed at her, yet instinct took over. She lifted her hands, letting the pulse of her power flow through the crystals, a bright wave spreading across the valley, and the figure hesitated, surprised, retreating slightly, as if sensing her strength, and the human whispered, "Keep going. They respect power, but not for long." The alien lunged suddenly, fast, stronger than the previous predators, teeth and claws glinting. And the girl's pulse surged, energy blasting outward, striking the alien, pushing it back. But more were coming, dozens of shapes moving fast through the glowing flora, their strategy clear: surround, isolate, strike. The human acted quickly, pulling out a small device, pressing buttons, and suddenly holographic decoys appeared, shimmering duplicates of themselves, moving like shadows, confusing the predators, buying them precious seconds. "We cannot fight them all, but we can outsmart them," he said, eyes focused, sweat on his brow, every movement precise. The girl noticed the crystals responding more, glowing brighter, following her commands, and she realized she could manipulate them, not just blast energy, but create barriers, traps, illusions, the valley itself bending to her will, a living weapon, alive with her courage and determination. The predators paused, wary of the shifting landscape. They ran deeper into the valley, the alien figures close behind, claws scraping against rocks, growls echoing in the crystal air. The human guided her through a narrow canyon where the predators struggled to fit. Their numbers reduced, and the girl's energy flared, creating walls of light, separating them, keeping the threat at bay. A perfect trap, the first victory they had earned. Finally, they reached a hidden sanctuary, a cave carved from the valley's crystals, glowing faintly, warm, protected, the predators unable to penetrate its walls. They had to stop here, to rest, to plan, the girl sinking to the ground, exhausted but exhilarated, feeling the power inside her growing with every beat of her heart. The human sat beside her, checking the perimeter, and then he spoke softly. "You are not just surviving. You are changing the rules, turning the hunters into prey." She looked at him, eyes wide, awe and trust shining. I don't know how to control it fully yet," she admitted, voice trembling. "But I will learn. I have to." A strange calm fell over the sanctuary, yet tension lingered, the valley outside alive, watching, the predators waiting, and both knew this was only temporary, a moment to gather strength, before the real battle, before the forces, hunting them, realized that they were more than just prey. They were threats, unpredictable, unstoppable, because the human and the girl had become a team, united by survival and courage, as the twin moons cast long shadows across the crystal walls. The girl whispered to herself, determination firm. "They will not catch me." "Not ever." And the human, watching her, nodded quietly. "And together, we will show them what humanity is capable of." A promise, a warning, and a spark that would ignite the next chapter of their journey. Humanity's shadow strikes. The sanctuary glowed softly, but the girl knew it was temporary, every pulse of the crystals beneath her feet warning her that danger was closing. The predators had not forgotten. The alien hunters were smart, relentless, and now they had learned, adapting, closing the net, waiting for a mistake, a slip. The human checked the perimeter once more, eyes scanning the shadows, hands steady but tense. "They are coming," he said quietly, and the girl felt it too, the vibrations in the ground, low and powerful, not just machines, not just beasts, but something intelligent, something ancient, moving fast, prepared to strike, hunting like they had never hunted before. She rose slowly, letting the crystals respond to her presence, light swirling around her hands, shaping barriers, projecting illusions, the valley itself bending to her will, and the human looked at her with pride and awe. "This is it. Your moment. Our moment," he said, voice calm but fierce, ready for anything. Then the first wave hit, shadows rushing, claws, teeth, mechanical drones glinting under the twin moons, their eyes fixed, hunting, calculating. And she released her, powerfully, a pulse of energy exploding outward, forcing the first attackers back, light bending, glowing, crystal shards flying like tiny stars, striking everything in their path, disorienting, terrifying, unstoppable. The human acted simultaneously, pushing buttons on the hovercraft's controls, releasing decoys and traps, small energy mines activating, explosions throwing enemies off balance, his strategic mind matching her raw power perfectly, a team unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Humans, underestimated, now rewriting the rules. But then came the second wave, larger, smarter, predators. Working together, surrounding them, claws cutting through illusions, energy beams slicing through barriers, and the girl felt fear for the first time in hours. Yet it was sharper, focused, fueling her, igniting her power, and suddenly she realized she could not just defend. She could strike. She could control. She could command the valley itself. She lifted her hands high, crystals resonating with her heartbeat, light flaring, walls rising, spikes shooting from the ground, twisting, reshaping, forming cages, traps, corridors, confusing the enemy, dividing them, isolating them, the predators roaring in frustration, trying to adapt, but the valley now obeyed her. The girl no longer prey, no longer afraid. She was the hunter. The human moved beside her, guiding, attacking, distracting, his weapons precise, his mind sharp. But he let her lead, letting the power she had discovered shape the battlefield. And together they struck fear into the aliens, their confidence shattered, their intelligence failing against something they had not understood, humanity's courage, ingenuity, and unpredictability. Then the leader appeared, massive, towering, glowing with energy, eyes blazing red, its voice echoing in a language that shook the crystals, demanding surrender, promising pain, promising death. And the girl stepped forward, her hands glowing brighter, her pulse matching the rhythm of the valley, energy forming around her like armor, her voice steady, fearless. "You underestimated us." The leader lunged faster than anything before, but she was ready, summoning the valley's energy, creating a cage of crystal light, trapping the leader. For a moment, buying the human time to strike, and he did. Precise, unstoppable, pushing the leader back, stunning it, and together they forced it to retreat. The predators following, confused, defeated, never expecting resistance, never expecting a human and a girl to become the shadow of the galaxy they feared. Finally, silence fell, broken only by their breathing, the valley glowing faintly. Peaceful for now, the girl sinking to her knees, exhausted yet exhilarated, the human kneeling beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "We did it. We survived. We won," he said, voice soft but full of pride. "You are more than anyone could imagine, more than they ever expected." She looked at him, eyes wide, trembling. I never thought I could do this. I was just a girl." The human smiled, shaking his head. "No. You were always more. You just didn't know it yet. Today you showed the galaxy what humanity is capable of. You showed them the shadow of fear they never expected." As twin moons reflected off the crystals, the girl felt something inside her shift. No longer afraid, no longer prey. She was strong, fierce, alive, and for the first time, she understood. Her destiny, not just survival, not just escape, but change, power, hope, a force the galaxy could not ignore. And the human beside her, calm but vigilant, nodded silently, knowing their story was far from over, and as the predators disappeared into the horizon, defeated but not gone, the girl whispered to herself, "We will not be hunted again. Humanity will never bow, and I will never be weighed by the kilo." A promise, a warning, and a spark that would ignite fear and respect across the stars.